Good afternoon. I'm Ricky Shelton, Mayor of Cookeville.
And I'm Randy Porter, Putnam County Mayor. This is our COVID-19 coronavirus community update for Monday, March 23rd. Today, as of 2 p.m., our total number of confirmed positives in Putnam County is still 6, which is the same as yesterday. This number continues to be very low compared to our population. As you can see on the map behind us, the numbers for the state of Tennessee are now 615. This map is only updated once daily at 2 p.m. The only other counties in the Upper Cumberland that have confirmed positives are Cumberland with 2 and DeKalb County with 1. Again, Putnam County has only 6 confirmed cases, which is the same as yesterday. Testing is still available if you have the symptoms and meet CDC requirements for the coronavirus. Some of the common symptoms are fever, cough, and shortness of breath. There are also the same symptoms for several other more common diseases, so just because you have these type symptoms does not mean you have the coronavirus or COVID-19. Not all people need to be assessed or tested, especially if you have no symptoms. We want to make sure the people that are sick and need the test have them. If you have symptoms and want to be assessed, please call your primary health care provider. Don't just show up, please call them first. Our Putnam County Health Department will continue to do drive-through assessment, and they did testing today from 1 to 3 p.m. at County Services Drive. They did about 58 tests, I think, today, and we're hearing that most of the folks that have tested positive have very mild symptoms and are only required to be self-quarantined at home. With the 6 cases we have confirmed, the Health Department is doing contact assessments with each one to see who they have come in close contact with and assess or test anyone needed. Also, the testing at the health department will not be happening on Tuesday due to severe weather that is possibly coming into the area. They plan on resuming the drive-through assessment and testing on Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m.
As we've discussed, we do not yet know how this virus is going to impact our community, but we know that dramatic social distancing makes a significant difference. It needs to be more dramatic than we're currently practicing in Cookeville. Now, why do this? As we've talked about, because this could affect your family, children, or grandparents. This could be in your home right now and you don't know it. So please understand that making these changes, and that's what we're talking about is extreme social distancing, is not giving in to fear, it's using common sense. As we discussed, and then we had a whole lot of questions, why did other cities shut down businesses and we didn't? Our city charter does not allow us to shut down businesses, only the governor can do that. Those that did that, they have a different charter, whether it was Metro or Home Rule Charter. Cookeville is a private act charter. As we discussed, the governor then issued an executive order yesterday, and he further issued another one today, and we'll discuss those in just a moment and go back through that because we had a lot of questions about that. But we want to implore our citizens and local businesses to further minimize personal interaction. This means no dining in, no shopping in, and a move, as the order said, to complete curbside service, carry out, and online transactions only. The more quickly we do this, the faster we can return to our regular schedule and save lives. We're also potentially saving lives, which could include your family members. Our hospital needs you to do this so the capacity in our regional medical center remains strong and can accommodate more severely sick patients if that happens in the future. The more we can do this now, hopefully the quicker we can get back to normal. If we fail to take these measures now, we risk a much longer disruption period, which could be more detrimental to local businesses than a temporary scale back. So let's all take personal responsibility and do our part. Use common sense. It honestly should not require an order or mandate from the government to do the right thing. Be part of the solution. We all need to do that. Let's stop the mass panic and hysteria. Be calm and responsible. Facebook and social media is great for sharing information, but unfortunately becomes a breeding ground for rumors and false and misleading information. And I'm just going to ask you, if you see something like that on there, if it's not verified, please don't share it. And if you see that someone has, please talk to them and say, hey, listen, let's don't spread that and create more panic in our community.
Absolutely. Governor Lee today issued, yesterday issued the executive order number 17, which went into effect today. We've been having a lot of questions on this and what does the order exactly mean, and so we plan on going over those again for you today. first part of the order, Mayor, is that persons shall not participate in social gatherings of 10 or more people.
Correct. And as we talked about, that's no events, no parties. That does not pertain to your place of business. That's left up to each individual business and workplace and factory to make those decisions. So it does not pertain to your business. It only pertains to a social gathering or event.
Right. The other part of it is shall not eat or drink on site at restaurants, bars, or other similar establishments. Restaurants, bars, and those type of establishments are limited to offer drive-through, pickup, carry-out, or delivery service for food or drink. And we've been hearing from a lot of our local restaurants that are doing this.
Yes.
So, folks, you can't go inside a restaurant and eat and dine in like you have been able to before, but most of those businesses are offering carry-out.
Correct. And so that's still an option. And there's lots of delivery services in our town that you can utilize as well to get that food if you choose to do that. I know people have asked about the food workers in restaurants.
And it becomes that personal responsibility, I think, on each of us. If you don't feel comfortable going to a restaurant or fast food or whatever it might be to get your food, and you're worried about those workers, you have to make that decision on your own. I think all the restaurants that I've been seeing people wearing gloves and taking all the precautions that they possibly can to make sure that the food is prepared in a proper manner. And I think over the years we've trusted all those restaurants to take care of us and haven't had any issues. So we can't tell you yay or nay what to do, can we, Mayor?
No, that would again go back to the responsibility of the restaurant to make sure that their workers are taking the proper precautions, and if there is someone sick, then they would certainly take those measures necessary and not let that happen to contaminate the food. Again, personal responsibility.
Yeah, these restaurants are doing extra on disinfecting and making sure everything is taken care of. So hopefully that answers some of your questions about that. But in the end, it's your decision as to whether you decide to go and get takeout or carry out or drive-through or whatever in these establishments.
Another important thing to talk about of the gathering of 10, there was a lot of questions asked about, does that pertain to daycare centers? It does not. Again, that's a business that wasn't listed.
Right.
Same way with salons. That was not listed either. So to get your hair done, and so those individual businesses will need to take those precautions necessary to do whatever, because they were not listed in the executive order.
Right. One that is gyms or fitness and exercise type centers. The order says that they shall not be open to the public. I know that's a inconvenience to a lot of folks that go and exercise and work out, but you can still do that.
You can do it at home. Some of them are offering online classes.
Right.
Now, we've been asked, does that prohibit them from offering a one-on-one service in their facility? We don't have the answer to that. We've requested that information and have not been given that back yet from the governor's office. So when we get that, we'll certainly share that through our social media outlets of what the intent of that was. It did not specifically address that in the executive order.
The next thing is it limits visits to nursing homes, retirement homes, or long-term assisted living facilities. These are our most vulnerable citizens, and we want, I know the governor's thoughts there, and our thoughts are too, is we want to make sure we protect those folks. So I know it's tough if you have family members or loved ones in those facilities, but and I know it's tough not being able to see them, but I know the facilities are doing everything they can to send pictures and have phone calls and Skype and all those kind of things with your loved ones. Just please keep them in mind that they're so vulnerable to this that we don't want the disease to get inside the nursing homes or those facilities. So the governor has limited visits to those. There are still some exceptions to that, and you can look up end of life kind of decisions and those kind of things that you can still get in, but you would need to check with your local facility, those healthcare facilities, to see what their restrictions are and make sure you go with those guidelines.
And let's address something else too. There were several misunderstandings of thinking that we had a shelter in place in Cookeville or throughout the state. That is not the case. Some cities do have that or have asked for that. They're actually calling it safer at home order is what Knoxville just issued, Metro Knoxville, and as well as Nashville, and it says to close all non-essential businesses in those two areas. We do not have that here in Cookeville and Putnam County, and we've told you why we can't issue that here in Cookeville and Putnam County, and that's not what the governor has issued. As we look through it, though, it was interesting that we noted that there is so much still open in those areas, even though they've issued that order. It pretty much just only cuts out almost mom and pop shops. And so if you look at what all they have allowed in those areas, so again, don't be misled that we have a shelter-in-place order here. We do not, nor in the entire state. Only selected cities have chosen to initiate that.
Also remember that this order does not prohibit persons from visiting places necessary to maintain health and economic well-being. That's going to include your grocery stores, gas stations, parks, banks, all the other businesses that you would need to visit to be able to maintain your well-being. You just need to make sure that you observe the necessary precautions that are advised by the President and the CDC to reduce the spread of the virus, and also all these businesses need to do that same thing.
Absolutely.
Some of those precautions that they're issued are work from home whenever possible. I know a lot of our local businesses are allowing folks to work from home, which is great. You should avoid any unnecessary travel and social visits. Don't be going and visiting folks unless you're checking on them. We advise you to check on your neighbors and elderly and those things, and do deliveries for them so they don't have to get out. But you can leave the stuff on the front porch or places where you don't have to go inside the houses. So try to avoid any unnecessary travel and social visits if you can. Also avoid close contact with people who are sick. We're asking that anyone that is sick, especially if you're running a fever, not to go to work. Stay at home and advise your manager, supervisor, whoever it is that you're sick. Also, they're advising to practice social distancing, which keeping at least 6 feet in between you and the other person around you. Practicing good hygiene, including hand washing, avoid touching your face, disinfecting frequently used items that are around you, including your computer keyboards and phones and so forth. But Mayor, most of these they're just common sense precautions that we probably should be doing every day. That's
true, and I know some businesses are taking upon themselves to go ahead and clean off handles of shopping carts and things like that. But take something with you to do that as well. But I know a lot of the businesses are being proactive in doing that, and that's great.
It is. Executive Order 18 was issued by the governor this afternoon, and we're having a little difficult getting a copy of that yet, but in listening to the governor's media response that he put out on it, we understand that it halts elective procedures in dental offices and those types of facilities so that it frees up the personal protective equipment and gear for our healthcare workers. Is that the way you understand?
Cleaning and fillings and non-emergency type procedures in a dental office would now be halted, and then only an emergency type procedure is our understanding. Again, we're waiting to get the final decree. After we see that, we have not received the hard copy of that yet.
When we do, we'll make sure we get that out to you and it'll be available. Executive Order 15 that we haven't mentioned yet, it delays your vehicle registration renewals. So if your license tags that's on your vehicle, if your renewal is due now, anywhere between now and May 18th, they have extended that out to June the 15th. I think the governor's thinking behind this was it would reduce the number of visits to the clerk's offices across the state to get your little sticker to go on your license plate. So repeating that, if your renewals are due on your license plate between now and May 18th, the governor has extended those out until June the 15th. He's also extended our driver's license. So if your driver's license is coming due now, that's been extended for 6 months.
Very good. All right. The City of Cookeville will continue all vital public services to our residents. These include police protection, fire protection, water, sewer, electric, gas, garbage pickup, and keeping our streets and parks open. Our highest priority has always been and will continue to be the health, safety, and well-being of our citizens and the over 450 city employees that deliver those services. Many of these employees don't have the option of staying at home. So based on the directives, as we've talked about, regarding groups of 10 or more, the city has already canceled events at the Cookeville Performing Arts Center, closed the Cane Creek Recreation Center, as well as the History and Depot Museums, Cane Creek Park and Dogwood Park are open, and so we would encourage you to enjoy that on the outside, with the exception of the Heart of the City playground at Dogwood Park, and that is closed. Please do not go over the locked gate and play on that equipment, because it's closed for obvious reasons. City Hall and all other city buildings will be closed to the public until further notice. You may still pay property tax, utility, or other bills and obtain permits online, and you can pay utility bills at the drive-through window. Cookeville Regional Medical Center obviously is vital not only to our community but the entire region. It continues to actively monitor all aspects of the COVID-19 situation. The safety of our patients, staff, and community remains the highest priority. As part of CRMC's response, carefully evaluated the CDC guidance and readiness of the facility, personnel capacity, and supply availability, and assess community transmission within our region. There are still 0 positive cases or people hospitalized with COVID-19 at CRMC. CRMC and other places are at the mercy of commercial testing labs for results. Right now, the expected turnaround times for the results, if you've been tested, is up to 10 days, anywhere between 5 and 10 days. So everyone wants the results as soon as possible, but that is what we're all dealing with as far as the delays. CRMC has instituted a no visitors policy. Also, they will defer all elective surgeries and procedures. Elective means scheduled as opposed to emergency. It does not mean the care isn't important. In fact, much of the elective care cannot be delayed and needs to be done on schedule. Medical staff determination based on if the procedure can wait for more than 8 weeks, it should be delayed. If delaying a procedure for more than 8 weeks will be detrimental to a patient's health, those procedures will continue as planned. Decisions remain the responsibility of the physician, who has direct responsibility to their patients. This is a rapidly changing situation, and do our best to keep you informed of any changes. So check with your physician. If you had something scheduled, certainly in the next 6 weeks, I would just check with them and see what the status of that is at this moment.
Absolutely. County office closures are as follows. As a precaution for our county employees, who we will make sure they're taken care of along with you, our citizens, we're starting today. The courthouse will be open, but not for walk-ins. If you need to come to the courthouse for business, please call the office that you're wanting to see and make an appointment, and they will set up with you to come by. The trustee's office at the courthouse has an outside drop box for your tax payments, and each office has online services you can use. For a detailed list of all those, you can go to our website at putnamcountytn.gov. Was also informed just a few minutes ago that the county clerk's office that issues your license tags, marriage license, and all those kind of things will be closing to the public tomorrow at 1 p.m. They will be closed to walk-through traffic, but their drive-in will still be open, drive-through will still be open, and you can call and they can set up an appointment with you if you need to come by for some specific business. And so that's the county clerk's office. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. will be closed to walk through traffic, but their drive-through will continue to be open. Due to an order of the Tennessee Supreme Court, all personal court proceedings and hearings have been suspended. If you have any questions about your court case, please contact your attorney. And a reminder that passport applications are not being processed until March 31st. As a precaution, we have closed all of our sports facilities and community centers until further notice. The Putnam County Library will be closed starting Monday. Staff will be working to help you with online books, videos, and resources, so please call them if you have needs. Again, if you have any questions on any of the county offices, please go to our website at putnamcountytn.gov. We had something great happen today, Mayor.
Yeah.
Awesome. Our school system, our Putnam County school system, they started the Pick Up, Grab, and Go meals program today. They served 4,076 meals to our students today, which is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. And we want to thank the Putnam County school system for starting this program. This program is going to be available Monday through Friday. It starts at 10:30 a.m. in the morning and goes to 1 p.m. in the afternoon at the following schools: Allgood Elementary, Avery Trace, Cane Creek, Capshaw, Cornerstone, Jerry Whitson, Monterey High School, Northeast, Parkview, Prescott Elementary, Sycamore, and Upperman High School. You will need to use the car rider lane to pick these meals up. This is a free breakfast and lunch for all children age 18 and under. So please take advantage of this. Our school workers and the cooks are cooking these meals, and
So
the
you
school
drive
system,
through the line?
yeah, drive through the
Okay.
line. They'll bring it out to
Yeah.
you. Also, our school buses are delivering these meals along specific routes, and you can go to the school's website at Putnam County or at pcsstn.com for routes and times. You can also call 528-1847 if you don't have internet access or need to talk to someone. And the amazing thing about this is all these meals that they're providing, they will be reimbursed through the federal government. So it's helping keep a lot of our school staff working and paying their salaries.
That's excellent.
Also coming up this week, teachers will be contacting students and families to determine if there are, needs that the students have. And they'll be arranging resources to help families during these difficult times. Some of those needs may be telling them about this food service that they may not be aware of, seeing if they have technical needs to be able to do their homework and resources and stuff. Should school, the deadline now is March 31st for schools to remain closed. We don't know if that's going to be extended or not yet, but should it be, I think they may be looking at some online classes and things. So we just hope everyone will take care of or take advantage of the school meals program. Remember, the buses will be delivering those out during the day. The school car lines, you can go through and pick them up at all those schools that were listed. One big thing we're still seeing is the hoarding of groceries and supplies, which I hope that will stop soon. Folks, if you will just be patient and only buy what you need right now, it will allow for the stores to restock. The food chain has not been affected. Trucks are running every day. The stores are restocking. The problem is people are going in and buying 5 or 10 times more than what they actually need instead of just what they actually need for the next few days. Let me reassure you, the food chain is open, it's working, it's running. Talking to the store managers at some of these facilities, all they need is time to restock and to be able to get the food in. And if we just all act appropriately, we came together so much in the tornado, Mayor, and work together. People were donating tons of food to us to give out, and if we could just act in that same manner, it would be really good.
Yeah, and something else I meant to mention in Cookeville Regional Medical Center, and this is the appropriate time too, is there's a lot of people that are buying some of the protective equipment. Now, Cookeville Regional Medical Center is not in short supply of the personal protective equipment. They were there, there was a challenge because the tornado happened, but they're starting to restock, and it is in other parts of the country. You see that it is in short supply. But people again are buying it up in local stores, and when some places are getting it in, and we need to be cautious of that. But Cookeville Regional Medical Center also has made capacity, the capacity is still fine at the medical center, almost probably as far as the number of patients that could be served has about been double to what it at once was. The census is down, and they've made arrangements with some extra capacity if it's needed. But again, right now it's not. But we're all preparing, city, county, and all of our health services for anything that might come.
And one thing, too, to remember is all of our emergency services are still operating as normal 24/7. If you call 911, you need an ambulance, you need law enforcement, you need fire, whatever the need may be, they're still going to respond to you just like they always have. So rest assured that our emergency services, they're fully stocked, ready to go. You may see them with masks and gloves on. You're used to seeing them with the gloves on, but with masks and so forth to protect our employees so they can continue to serve you. But all of our emergency services, both city and county, are still operating. You may get tired of hearing us say this, but your best defense right now is to stay at home as much as possible. And we understand you may need to go to work, pick up food, groceries, etc., but just please use common sense. If you don't have to be out, then don't be. We keep saying our recommendations are not to scare you, and they're not. As we watch cases spread in other parts of the country, we can still take some comfort in the fact that our numbers right now are continuing to be low in Putnam County. And if we make sacrifices now, we can hopefully keep those numbers low. I understand the temptation. You want to get up and go about your normal routine in an effort not to give in to fear. Just remember, being responsible is not giving in to fear. Using good hygiene, social distancing, not being in large crowds, that's all common sense things we should all be doing. We live in a fantastic community where we can care for one another. We are Putnam County strong, and we will get through this if we will remain calm and work together. I don't want to leave out our tornado survivors.
Sure.
You're not being overlooked during this. Our cleanup process continues. Messages continue to go out to you. Our distribution center continues to be open. You are a high priority with us to make sure you're taken care of. I want to make sure that if you didn't hear this yesterday, our volunteers have logged over 50,000 hours in helping with the tornado. That's over 6,000 volunteers. And Mayor, those are not volunteers that have come in from other places.
Right.
We've had hundreds of those. Those are our local citizens here in Cookeville and Putnam County and other areas that have come in to donate their time and their effort and their equipment to help us clean up from the tornado, which was devastating. Makes you feel proud to be a citizen of Cookeville or Putnam County. But we do still need volunteers to help. It's important to note that volunteers will not be working tomorrow on Tuesday due to predicted severe weather that could come in. Our volunteer coordinators are planning a big week and weekend ahead over the next couple weeks, but we have to look at the safety of our volunteers that are out there, and we don't want them out if we have storms coming in. Remember, if you have a skid steer or other equipment or an organized team that you can help with the cleanup, please visit our website at putnamcountytn.gov/volunteer, or you can go by the Putnam County Fairgrounds starting Wednesday. We are so thankful for all the volunteers who continue to support your neighbors and our friends and family and all of those that have been affected by this terrible tornado. And some of you have traveled far away to help. Thank you will never be enough, and we cannot express words that show our appreciation for all the many things and all the great deeds that everyone has done, both our local folks and from all over the country. Mayor.
Yeah, and final on the tornado too, our citizen committee that we appointed to carry out the distribution of the monetary donations will be meeting again soon to work through the process of how that's going to be handled. And so if you want to still donate to our Tornado Relief Fund, it's putnamcountytn.gov/relief. And that committee will work through that process over the next couple of weeks and as they work toward that.
Absolutely, and that relief fund was set up by you and I early to make sure that there was all kinds of scams starting to go
Correct.
about, and we didn't want people to be taken advantage of. So
and not one penny goes to the government.
That's exactly
it's
right.
100% will go to the tornado survivors.
And remember, if you need short-term financial, you can go by our distribution center, which is now located on South Jefferson. They're kind of across from Tractor Supply behind Electronics Express. We have a warehouse there. We also have a retail space there that you can see. If you need supplies or food or need short-term financial help, you can go by there. It's open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from about 9 a.m. to about 1 p.m. during the day.
Very good. Well, we'll wrap this up. In the aftermath of the tornadoes in Putnam County, the response from our community was amazing. We came together to help not just those we love, but to help neighbors and strangers and the community as a whole. Our strength is in our sense of community. It always has been. Let's harness that same spirit to be proactive against this new threat. Don't rely on the pundits or what your friend on Facebook says or the fake, misleading rumors you hear. And please stop spreading misinformation, rumors, and panic. Because we see the situation unfolding in other states, we can heed the guidance coming from experts. We can see this coming and act accordingly rather than waiting until the damage is done. So stay at home. Don't panic. Be supportive of one another. Wash your hands often. Be kind and considerate always. Be as safe and secure personally and professionally as possible. Be calm, but take this seriously and do your part to limit the spread. Stay at home and away from people. Make reasonable, educated decisions. Use common sense. We can get through this, but we're going to have to make some sacrifices in the short term to come through this in the long term. Pray for our country, our healthcare workers, and our responders. And remember, fear paralyzes, but faith mobilizes. So let's choose faith over fear. We will all get through this together if we are all part of the solution. God bless.
And remember, we will continue these updates on a day-to-day basis. Mayor Shelton and I will. There's going to be some days that you may hear us repeat some of the stuff. It's for your benefit. We're trying to help you. We will do the updates at 4 p.m. each afternoon, and any news that may come in between those, we'll try to get out to you on our social media. Mine is Putnam County, Tennessee, Mayor Randy Porter.
And mine is facebook.com/Mayor Ricky Shelton.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.